Bienvenidos. Hoy en Adelante, MATC, el Colegio Técnico de Milwaukee, está buscando ser designado como una institución de servicio a los latinos o Hispanic Serving Institution. También una conversación con la presidenta de este colegio, la doctora Vicki Martin, quien recientemente hizo el anuncio oficial. Milwaukee Area Technical College, MATC, está iniciando el proceso para constituirse como una institución de servicio a los hispanos o Hispanic Serving Institution, lo cual implica incrementar su población estudiantil latina de un 16 a un 25%. Esto haría a esta institución elegible para obtener fondos federales a través del título V del Departamento de Educación. MATC está buscando estrechar los lazos con instituciones y organizaciones latinas como Hispanic Professionals of Greater Milwaukee y el Consulado de México.
Milwaukee Area Technical College es la abreviatura de lo que es el colegio técnico en Milwaukee.
Minority serving institutions emerged due to the educational inequalities of the minority groups. The most known have served African Americans and the Native Americans. According to the American Council on Education, minority service institutions have a critical role in advancing low-income students to better economic levels. A 2018 Council report found that minority serving institutions boost students from the bottom to the top of the income distribution at higher rates than non-minority serving institutions. In the 1980s, a series of hearings were carried out at the U.S. Congress to expand the opportunities for Latinos to have access to higher education. MEC1 Campus MATC, Dr. Wilma Bonaparte, who is in charge of this project, explains.
Tenemos que sobresaltar el gran compromiso que tiene nuestra presidenta de MATC, la doctora Vicki Martin. Ella siempre ha estado bien comprometida con la diversidad de nuestros estudiantes, con la pedagogía, con el currículo, con todo lo que tiene que ver, iniciativas que promueven el éxito de nuestros estudiantes. Eso es número uno. Número dos, no podemos perder de perspectiva el gran aumento que la comunidad latina ha crecido en la ciudad de Milwaukee. Me parece que es normal que ya para este año ella haya establecido como una de nuestras metas que MATC sea un Hispanic Serving Institution.
There is a process that MATC must follow in order to be designated as a Hispanic Serving Institution. Dr. Arturo Martinez, director of MATC's Walker Square Educational Center, explains this process.
It's important to be an associated member of, HACU, which is, like you mentioned, the Hispanic Associates of Community and Universities, because there's a lot of resources and knowledges that a school like MATC can learn from more experienced colleges who have been serving and who have been designated as Hispanic Serving Institute. By becoming an associate member of HACU, there are several benefits that MATC can benefit from that. One is by just being a member, students served through MATC are now eligible for scholarships that are offered through HACU. We learn a lot from what other schools are doing to be able to attract greater funds. So one of the things that some of the states do is they do provide state tuition. May not be federal tuition, but they provide state tuition.
Nosotros brindamos no solo educación a nivel académico, también ofrecemos educación en la forma de llevar nuestra vida, cómo nos debemos comportar en el trabajo.
Giovanna Dole works at Walker Square and has been making presentations at the Mexican Consulate in Milwaukee to illuminate the opportunities that MATC offers to Latinos.
Una de las grandes funciones de MATC es ofrecer capacitación, entrenamiento a la población hispana. Y como hemos observado que cada día hay más hispanos en nuestra área, con el consulado de México quisimos hacer esta alianza y poder fomentar la información acerca de la educación que MATC ofrece a nuestra población hispana. Muy posiblemente vamos a tener una presencia más permanente aquí en el consulado y esa es la idea de que todos los hispanos de nuestra área sepan acerca de los servicios que ofrecemos.
Mucha gente no tiene el concepto todavía de los precios de MATC, tal vez porque están comparando con una universidad de 4 años. Entonces, lo primero que yo les trato de dar es información de los precios, lo económico que es un diploma de general de educación, que es lo básico, el programa de inglés comparado con otros programas. Pienso yo que estamos entre los $65 con todo el precio que incluye los exámenes, las clases, sigue siendo muy económico. El programa de inglés pudiera ser que estamos dentro de $10 a $20 por semestre. Imposible de creer comparado con otras instituciones de 4 años.
Creemos que para muchos estudiantes de high school aquí, MATC es quizá la mejor alternativa en lo que optan por un posible college de 4 años. Este esquema de MATC que me gustaría que lo formalizáramos y vamos a seguir trabajando para 2019 para lograr algún tipo de memorándum, darle una formalidad mayor, es muy benéfico porque es una institución dirigida pues a la clase trabajadora y la mayor parte de los mexicanos pertenecen a la clase trabajadora. Es una alternativa educativa que abre la puerta para aquellos que lo quieran a ingresar después a otro tipo de universidad o bien encontrar ahí una especialización en carreras cortas que también les da muchas oportunidades.
The Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities, HACU, analyzes specific challenges faced by Latino students. Among them, for example, DACA students, the Fair Action for Childhood Arrivals, who are unable to receive financial aid when pursuing higher education.
I attended the conference, the HACU conference in Atlanta in October. And one of the areas that I learned was what are some of the colleges in California and in Illinois, what are they doing to serve our DACA students? DACA students are students who obviously, want to go to school. Because of their DACA status, they're eligible to pursue an education, but they're still not eligible for any type of financial aid.
Last January, the governor of Wisconsin, Tony Evers, visited the facilities of Walker Square. This educational center is located in the area with the largest Latino population. At this center, MATC offers a variety of programs, such as the GED and ESL, and skilled trade courses, such as masonry and plumbing.
Thanks, everybody.
At the end of the visit, in a press conference, the governor talked about his plans to advance law initiatives that are key for Latinos.
We want to make sure that people that are undocumented have the opportunity to have a driver's permit of some sort. We need to have the opportunity for people to get to work. Pretty simple concept, but it seems to be more complex than it should be. And also, I believe that children that are going to college or higher education that are either the parents are undocumented or they're undocumented, we have to make sure that they pay in-state tuition. That's, for people in our state, first of all, it's a moral obligation, but it's also critical. We need every person that's able to participate in our democracy and our economy. They need to be able to have the highest education possible in their lives.
I want to thank our MATC Foundation for helping to match the dollars so that those scholarship dollars will go much further, so thank you, Griselda, for that.
On February 27, the president of MATC, Dr. Vicki Martin, officially announced the purpose of MATC to be designated by the Department of Education as a Hispanic Serving Institution.
We are so thrilled to be part of this initiative. We are thrilled that we are declaring it, and we know we have partners who are going to help us to get there. We're at about 16% right now, almost 16. We've got to get to 25%. We know we've got 5 years to do it. We want to do it much faster. The faster we do that, the better this community is going to be. And I just want to thank everybody for being here and supporting what we do at MATC.
During this event, President Martin talked about the educational and economic gaps that exist between minority families and non-minority families.
When we looked at the data, both inside of our institution and in our community, when you look at the average salary of a Hispanic family income, it's $32,000 compared to a white family is $48,000.
The official ceremony was attended by the City of Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett, City of Milwaukee Chief of Police Alfonso Morales, City of Milwaukee District 12 Alderman Jose Perez, and the Consulate of Mexico in Milwaukee, Consul Adscrita Karina Belén Blas.
Welcome, Griselda.
Also, the president of the Hispanic Professionals of Greater Milwaukee, Griselda Adelante, announced a contribution of grants for MATC Latino students, which will be matched by MATC.
I'm so excited to be able to partner here with MATC as our first institution that will be matching dollar for dollar the dollars that we bring to the table for our Hispanic students this year.
Griselda Adelante also conversed with us about the implications of educational centers that seek to be designated as institutions of service to Latinos.
MATC fue una de las primeras escuelas que se apuntó a ayudarnos a trabajar con los estudiantes para que no nada más puedan entrar a la universidad, pero también que se gradúen con trabajo, porque no es nada más que se metan y estudien y se metan en una deuda, es también cómo vamos a proveer para que ellos tengan un mejor futuro. Es importante no nada más atraerlos, pero qué vamos a hacer con ellos cuando estén ahí y asegurarnos de que estemos vigilando que de veras puedan recibir una educación que puedan proveer para no solamente para ellos, pero para sus familias en un futuro y eso es importantísimo que no se pierda tampoco esa meta de no nada más llegar al 25%, pero entonces de ahí asegurarnos que ese 25% se reciba con una carrera que nos pueda ayudar a todos a mejorar el país y pues obviamente a Wisconsin.
En febrero pasado, la presidenta de MATC, la doctora Vicki Martin, anunció oficialmente el inicio del proceso para que esta institución sea designada como de servicio a la comunidad latina o Hispanic Serving Institution. Con ella conversamos sobre las implicaciones de este proyecto. Dr. Martin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Dr. Martin, can you tell us how this idea of MATC becoming a Hispanic Serving Institution started?
Right. I think it's always been part of our mission and purpose that we serve students who speak Spanish as well as other languages. It's English as a second language. So we've always had this notion and understanding how important it was to really reach out to our community. But we realize that as the population continues to grow in the city and the county of Milwaukee, that we really had an opportunity here to really expand our offerings and expand the support that we offer our students. And by having this federal designation as Hispanic Serving Initiative, that we will be eligible for federal funds, and that's what's really important. So we really felt it was time to really declare this as one of our goals and be part of our strategic plan. And once we did that, we started to realize, okay, we've told everyone we're going to do this. And so we're going to put a task force together. We're going to do the kinds of things we need to do to really make a difference. Our community right now is desperate for more workers. And we know that the growing population of Hispanic young people, 26% as of 2016, and it's probably even more now, is really an opportunity for us to reach out into our grade schools, our middle schools, our high schools, as well as with our employers to really talk to them about what can we do to introduce young people to new careers and to new ways of really learning, so they could be apprentices, they could go into an internship, they can do a lot of different ways of really learning what the new fields are. Many times young people, especially first generation students, don't even know the jobs that are available to them. A couple studies have been put out that really show that the Hispanic population, particularly in Milwaukee, tends to go into certain areas, and they're not really taking advantage of some of the more high-paying fields. So if they go into healthcare, for example, which is a high-paying field, they may stop at the certificate or diploma level, and they may not go on for the associate degree or the bachelor's degree. And we know that really the more education you get, the more money that you're going to make, and the more job security you're going to have, and the more opportunities and options that you're going to have in your life. And we want that for our Hispanic students. We want that for all of our students. And so we're hoping that this initiative will really help us to look at what are we doing internally that can really make a difference for our students and help them to be successful and to stay here. One of the things that we first looked at is what is the reason a lot of students who are low income aren't coming to us? And it's obvious. If you say low income, it means they don't have the money to go to school. So we launched a promise program so that finances would not be the barrier for students to come here. So it's a last dollar tuition program for students directly out of high school. And then we also started one for adult students who have some college but have not completed. In Milwaukee County alone, there's about 130,000 people who started and did some college but have not completed. We just really felt with the workforce needs that there currently are, that we really wanted to bring more people into the pipeline and have the kinds of services and strategies that we need to have. And we need to build those. We have not done that yet. So we've got some work to do, even though it's been part of our mission and it's been part of our purpose statements all along the way. We really feel we have some more work to do. We believe this Hispanic Serving Institution designation will really help us to get the funding to help our students with scholarships, to help our student services area, to really expand the services and support that all students get, but particularly students of color and those who are Hispanic.
Dr. Martin, there is an institution that is going to be important in this process of MATC, and this is the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities. What is the role that is going to be playing in this process?
Well, the role that we're going to play is by really looking at what those educational needs are and really reaching out, like our marketing department's going to start a survey and look at what are the needs that are out there. We already know what the jobs are. We know where those are located. We know that we have to work with our sister institutions to have better transfer agreements, have better support services. For example, we know that having peer leaders, students who are first generation in that field will really be helpful for those students to have someone to talk to. Our students tell us all the time, they look for other students who are helpful to them, who have been down this path before and who know what to do. So we know we need to do that. We know that we also need to work with our colleagues in the higher ed area for those transfer and making sure that it's a smooth transfer function and that it's much easier to get there. We know that we have to really look at the whole family and really honor the family, the culture, and have that cultural competence among our current staff, but also hiring more people who speak Spanish, who speak other languages so that they have an understanding as well about what are those students going through. I'm a first generation student myself, and so I can appreciate that students come in and if they don't have a support system at home, if they don't know what the jobs are available, they are not going to know exactly what that path looks like and how to get on the path, how to stay on that path, and then what they need to do. We are also looking at, and this is part of being part of a bigger culture of the community colleges and of the four-year institutions, what do we need to do to make sure we retain these students? And we are part of a national cohort called Guided Pathways, where we have looked at the data and we know that our students of color are not succeeding and not completing and graduating at the same level as our white students and our Asian students.
Dr. Martin, you relate yourself to the studies on economic mobility, and you have brought to the whole college attention these specifics. Can you talk about that and its relationship with this initiative?
Right. So there's a couple studies that are out that really show that education really drives economic mobility for students. And we know that right now our graduation success rate for students is about 11%. We know that that is just not acceptable. And we do know that there are key strategies that others have done, like Georgia State University. We actually had a speaker who was the architect of that whole system to talk about what did they do differently that made a difference in the lives of those students so that they were successful. And now their graduation rate, and this is a bachelor's program, was better for students of color than it was for the white population. That's where we want to be. We know what those key game-changing strategies really are. It's things like our students who are historically underserved, are they getting the kinds of support, academic support? Are they getting the tutoring that they need? Are they in the right classes? Are they on a pathway? Are they introduced to new internships that they can take advantage of? A lot of our students leave because they can't see the connection between what they're learning and what job they're really looking to get or what career they want to go into. We need to contextualize, and we're working on that right now. Our math and English, they need to take it their first year. They really need the support. They need to have have the environment be supportive as well. If they don't have housing, or they're going hungry every day, or there's other issues, we've got wraparound support services for all of our students. We really realize that we don't have enough services for all our students, and we really need to make a change in that. It's not that we offer all of those, we just need to connect them to the community services that are there. There are so many, we couldn't even map them all out. Even I didn't know about a lot of those services. And so if I don't know about them, and I'm out in the community a lot, how would a student know that? And we have to take the stigma away from asking for help. It's okay to ask for help. And we've got to make it where the parents understand exactly what this means to come to college. That's very different, and that students shouldn't be leaving to help with other family obligations and like childcare or those kinds of things. We've got childcare here, we've got the services here, and when we look at the earning potential that these students can get if they stay in school and they continue their education, it's life-changing, literally, for them and their families. And so what we want to do is really take the time and the effort to really help them to understand that. And by working with our partners through HERA, and we have the Hispanic professionals of Greater Milwaukee, have been really helpful with scholarships, because we don't want students leaving for financial reasons. And what's really great about the scholarship that our foundation helped match with that, as well as the Mexican consulate, is that it helps undocumented students who often don't have the means, because our scholarship program is through the FAFSA process, which is a government process, and a lot of undocumented are not eligible for that. We want them to be able to come to this campus, get the education that they really need, find the resources to help them through so that they stay in school and they're successful.
Dr. Martin, MATC is very well known among the Latino families. There is a tradition, historically, the service that the college has been offering to those families is very well recognized. What are the strengths of MATC besides that one? What are the areas where the college needs to make changes?
Right, I think I mentioned some of them about having peer leaders, about creating the kind of environment where students are feeling very comfortable and supported, that there are people here who look just like them, who have the same sorts of experiences that they've had, to have those parent appreciation nights or have family appreciation nights where they can come in, having the tutorial support and the supplemental instruction. All of those things and more have to be working together, but if we can get our folks here to all appreciate that and have the cultural competence and the training so that they can understand what the students are going through, then I think we'll all be working together as almost like an internal family, so to speak, so that we can really reach out and support the students in maybe ways that they haven't before. When we look at some of our employers, we're going to have to do more work on that too, because when they leave here and they go into the world of work, that's why if they can do internships while they're here early, then they're connecting what they're learning with that world of work, and they're earning more money in the field they want to be in. And they'll have the support then, and hopefully the mentoring of folks not only at this campus, but also at the four-year, if they want to go on to that, as well as the employer and somebody in the community. So we are looking at ways to really have collective impact. We're working with our folks from MPS and UW-Milwaukee and MATC, it's called MCUT, and we're really trying to build the pipeline. We recognize we all have the same issues, and we are working together to make those smooth transitions for students. And so what we learn collectively about what works and what are best practices, we're going to be employing those. And we're already looking at early college models, we're looking at those family nights, we're looking at things that we can do together, having them on campus, experience what it's like, have those early successes, and also through youth apprenticeships, put them on the job, but also have their pathway laid out of what comes next. We had a student who started out at Bradley Tech High School at MPS, and then went into youth apprenticeship at Harley-Davidson, and from there decided, oh my gosh, I really want to be an engineer. And so Harley-Davidson said, absolutely, we want you to be an engineer as well. We need engineers. So now we can talk to our four-year partners like UW-Milwaukee and say, here's a student who's really interested in continuing their education with the support that they got at Harley-Davidson, but also what they got in the high school and what they got from us. And so it's a way to really reduce student debt. And so what we're really looking at is what are the ways that students can come to school through scholarships, through the Promise, through internships, and other ways. We're going to do some debt forgiveness, some loan forgiveness, and we're looking at other programs that really will reduce the stress of all the student debt that you hear about. We want students to really finish with very little or no student debt so that they can start buying homes, buying cars, and just really being able to support their family.
Dr. Martin, it's a pleasure to have you with us on Adelante. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
5 años es el tiempo que la presidenta Martin ha establecido para concretar la meta de convertir a MATC en una institución de servicio a los hispanos. Para saber más sobre lo que ocurre en la comunidad, los invitamos a que visiten nuestras historias exclusivas en nuestro sitio del internet Web Exclusives. También los invitamos a que no se pierda Milwaukee PBS Presenta, todos los jueves a las 7:30, un programa local incluyendo a Adelante el segundo jueves del mes. Y con un hasta pronto nos despedimos, invitándolos a que nos dejen saber sus comentarios por el teléfono 414-297-7544 o en nuestro correo electrónico. Visite nuestro sitio del internet en milwaukeepbs.org y en Facebook. Soy Patricia Gómez, deseándoles paz y bendiciones.